ridiculous. With these few words, I request Mr. Dhanabal, Senior Company Expert, Company Secretary, to present his paper. Thank you. All. In fact, when organizing team, when they gave this topic, I was wondering why they are giving this topic to me. Despite of giving this heavy topic, they given in the heavy time also. In fact, rather I should say they challenge me only. Of course, I like it. I like it always to take up the challenge and do it. Hope I can make it happen and make it success. Before I go into the topic, I want to clarify certain doubts or clarity that may be lingering in your mind. I heard one of the previous speakers were telling that only February or March only we will be aware whether it may come or may come, but the information is the information from the ministry is about to come for sure in February. This was the information from the ministry in the press. Another set will expected to come by February, and another set is expected to come March. So we can't take or we can't try to keep ourselves in a comfortable position. Anyway, let the law come, we will rise up to the occasion when the law come. No, there is no time. There won't be any time for us to rise up that time. The reason being, the book itself I could able to come out after putting off 1 year effort. It's not that this effort of me, it's the effort of the team. Could able to make it out. Then please think then how much time it will take each individual to understand and comprehend the whole thing and implement it. So wherever possible the input is available, we will try to see that how much best we can take it. Of course, in between we can try to highlight the impossibility in the implementation of the, but end of the day we have to follow it unless we have make up our mind to file a writ and question the law. Hope we are not no one in with that idea. We are in the idea of moving forward, see that how much we cooperate with the government, but expressing our concern on that. See that government is diluting the provision. This is the first information that I want to give to you. The second thing which I want to communicate to you, out of 98 section which has got notified already, I have given a list also at the end of the book. In fact, at the last time we added, when it is sent to printing, we added that page. I told them without that book comes, this point of time no one can understand what and all that already has come into effect. So at the end we stopped the printing and told them to add that page. Last 3-4 pages listing out list of 98 sections. What is the importance of list? Now understanding the 98 sections. Leave it all that 185 and other things which anyway we are going to again discuss in the evening panel discussions. But apart from that, the section which our chairman was referring, 447, my friends, please understand it has become effect from September 12th. It has already in vogue. It's not that it yet to come, it already has come. Particularly section 447, which defines what is fraud. Except other sections, probably we can try to understand, we'll have a time. Of course, most of the company has gotten a beat by virtue of the provisions of the section 185 and 186. Of course, 186 is yet to give effect. But this particularly section 447 is already in force. It's not that something today we are discussing is yet to come. It has already come. That's the first information that I want to give to you before I move on to the topic. Particularly, the whole topic is structured to mainly concentrate on fraud and more particularly criminal side of Companies Act. And our chairman has correctly pointed out, whole thing looks like as if we are discussing a criminal law. In fact, many of the forum where I deliberated, this only I have expressed, but in a different language. The whole company law, earlier it would have been looked up to as a civil law. Now, completely has been changed as a criminal legislation. Rather say, I should put it this way, it's a civil law basically. It should ensure regulating the companies, not to restrict. How the FERA got changed into FEMA, because the government don't want to regulate the investment. That's the reason they want to manage the investment. So the same way, the corporate whole entire corporate law should ensure that it regulates the corporate in India, not to restrict or prohibit something. But what is happening is completely different. We'll share all those information, or we'll deliberate more in detail where and all the reflections is coming out in the act of the government with a complete unsatisfactory state of affairs, that condition that is there in the company. That's the way the government has understood that the law is required with this severity or with these serious positions. The problem here is, I don't know whether the lawmakers, legislators, the regulators, the team members of the drafting, they have understood the repercussion and impact on professionals particularly. Leave it all the directors. Director, of course, they are running company to make out a profit. That we can always say that they have to have some discipline. Just to make out a profit, they can't do anything. We have to naturally regulate. Where the professional, who is person who should ensure whether the business are conducted in consonance with the provisions of the act. The professional is no way in control of the transactions of the company. Neither he can control nor he can stop. The professional can only verify the details and give the advice to the company. It is up to the company whether to take it up or do it a different way. We need not to go into deep because everyone understands this difficulty, more of from corporate and professional only sitting here. Now, what is going to be the order of the day? I'll explain. I just want to cover up in next half an hour about fraud, what is the implication of the fraud. Then I will move on to the inspection investigation. When you understand the importance of the fraud, prosecution, enforcement, then automatically you will pay attention to the inspection inquiry topic. Then only you will understand what is the importance of understanding inspection also. We should not think that it is not part of our, it's not my cup of tea. No, once we understand what is the penal provision, what is the prosecution provision, naturally we have to we have to come to the mindset that we have to understand everything on inspection. I will move on to the slides. Wherever you have doubt, with the permission of chairman, I can request you to rise so that will be a more interactive. That too post lunch session. I can't believe that, but you will. I will ensure. We will see the first this thing overview. The whole, why this idea has come, or probably which mooted the government the completely to change a civil provisions into a criminal kind of provision. What made them to? In fact, when I was discussing with the more professionals, they were telling we should not take Satyam and all, we should not talk them and all. No, the problem here is, it's not that we are talking, the whole impact this country is getting. Because of the one company, in fact, rather I should say, the government has taken an exception as an example. That is the whole thing that we are going to face in future. When they have taken as an exception, probably little only they could have thought about to include penal provisions. But They have thought, okay, the entire corporate in India may take a form of Satyam and do something better. Let us now itself put a injection, see that everything we are stopping now itself. In the process, they have forgotten how the business community will survive, how the professionals can do their services or can provide their professional advices without putting themselves into trouble. In fact, government is compelling to do something. It's not that professional needs to be compelled. Professionals, that's why the professional is called professionals. They doesn't, okay, they are not a child where we have to say that you don't do this or you do this. Since the country has understood professional is reasonably capable of handling certain things and reasonably capable of judge something, that's the reason they have created institutions and they are enrolling as a member and they are permitting to do audit and whatever other services they do. But the whole scenario of Satyam completely made the government to lose faith not only on the company and also on the professionals. The whole impact is getting reflected in the new Act 2013, where particularly the fraud section 447 is already in effect. Somebody, in fact, I should rather say you should have more concern and deliberate lot. See that how we can try to come out of this and see that what are the parameters that we have to follow to see that to handle this. I should not say that we will violate. We will see how we can handle professionally and see that we are not getting the hit out of it. In fact, the definition of fraud, that itself I have to deliberate more than an hour, but I have given a time of 45 minutes. So more I can deliberate, but I can view my thoughts, I can share my thoughts. The definition of fraud, this exhaustively, none of the act in India has carried this exhaustive definition of fraud. In fact, rather I should say, what necessity, what compulsion the government felt to bring such exhaustive definition for fraud. And everywhere, the whole Companies Act, I can say rather more than 30-40 places the word is appearing. I can even put search and show you also, because both the Companies Act I kept in open only. I want to show some other portion also. Then only you will have a real impact on that. The definition of fraud is such a exhaustive way. It's defined in relation to the affairs of the company or any body corporate includes. So that means fraud in relation to the affairs of the company or any body corporate, they are clear only with reference to company only, because the Companies Act cannot govern the individuals, that they are clear. They can't put individuals under the provisions of the 447 implications. So that's the reason they put comma there. Fraud in relation to the affairs of the company or any body corporate, comma, includes. Gone. Rest of the thing, even we need not to read also. The reason being, when you have an inclusive definition in any law for this matter, it includes everything under the sky. Always government can come out and say that where we say that fraud means, we said fraud includes only. And apart from that, adding injury to the salt, adding salt to the injury or adding petrol to the fire, they put some more words. I'll tell you that any act, omission, concealment of any fact or abuse of position committed by any person. Again, here any person, it's a $1 million question. Many of the forum I discussed who and all coming under the any person. They restricted to the fraud application of the fraud definition to the company. So what can come under the company? Only the officer in default can come. Probably the definition of officer can come. The definition of officer, that itself is an inclusive definition. That includes everybody under it. Probably employee, yeah, it will come because it's inclusive only. In fact, director also coming in that only. Apart from that, we have office and default definition also. So, as it is, there's a separate provisions or definitions are in place under the new act to make sure anything violated under the Companies Act, who should be suffered, who should be troubled. Already it is there, it is frozen. But apart from that, the whole idea is they don't want to leave any chance. That is the whole idea of the government. See, when we groom our children, to make sure that nothing happens to the children, you put a room and lock it. Whatever you want to give, you give. The only this thing is nothing should happen. So this approach only being looks followed by the government, where they don't want anything to happen. They don't want to spend more time, see that how rationally or how professionally, how logically something can be brought in. No, I don't want to see any logic.